Yellow, 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 yellow. It is Tuga Tuesday night again at last. One more time, please. My God, round 25 is on the books. Round 25 is on the books. 9 laps to go. 9 laps to go. 9 finals to go. And still
10 for me.
Top of the standings.
Let's see.
Somebody got 10. Oh, sorry. Somebody got 10. Please, don't forget about that. Because it's crucial. It is crucial to that game on hand for the Eagles. Mr. Derek Gomez, how you feeling tonight? How you feeling on this Tuesday? After
I'm
this,
feeling. I feel pretty good.
All right.
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty. Yeah. I think that now that people come back from injuries and we actually have a bench, we can compete. For the 3 points, every game out. So, and we know that Pot's coming back once after the FIFA pause. So, I mean, that's it's pretty big news for us. People are coming back from injuries, so hopefully they can contribute and help us try to win back-to-back titles down the stretch. We'll see what happens. It's neck and neck.
And yes, I accept. I promise I was not gonna ask about this guy anymore, but we're gonna talk about this guy in this show.
I love that guy,
right?
If you're not as
Mikey, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Mikey?
I'm feeling good. No, I'm feeling good. Good. I'm good. It's not been too bad. You play against one of the best in the world. Look, Liverpool went out today too, so
I know.
I know. It happens. You get this far, you take on the top teams. Sometimes the other team's just better than you, and they have better players to choose from. They're healthier. There's a whole long list of what went down, and all the goals they were beat on were good goals. I mean, I can't complain. Unlike last week, it wasn't a giveaway. At least Barcelona scored with quality. They just got so much quality in the final third. It's very hard to compete with that. They don't squander chances. So, no, great weekend for Benfica because off the pitch, we had our General Assembly. We approved the amendment to the statutes. There'll be no more funny colors. We're playing in red at home, white when we change. That's how it's going to be from now on. No more Adidas playing with our colors. No more changing the logo. 91% to 9 was the vote. It's a bad omen for Rui Costa because this is a lot of the opposition that voted this. So the club's going in the right way. The women's team won the League Cup. The volleyball team won the Portuguese Cup. This was a great weekend for Benfica. And I'm excited for the last 10 games of the season now.
Yes, sir. Now, good night. Look at this, man. We got the comments right.
Yeah, they were.
That's nice. The Rogerio thing.
Yeah.
The King is back, of course. With a praise. Could have been a hat trick. But it didn't happen. No, it was pretty close, though. It was pretty close. Super Gino, will Jokic get more goals than Bas does with potential 12 total games left?
Oh, well, yeah. Bas had 34.
I got 34, right?
Yeah, he had 34 this season. Yeah, Bas had 27. Right now, Victor's got 27 in his 9 rounds.
I'm pretty confident we can get to 35. I think so.
There's a chance. So. There's a chance you can get 35.
Right.
Yeah. There's a chance you get 35. Super Gino saying if he could have some chances too.
Yeah. Just don't have the quality. Just don't have the same quality in front of goal. It is what it is.
I'm not speaking as a Benfica, but if it was Sporting, it's almost, if it was Sporting that went out today, it's sort of like this wave of relief. Like
it is. It's totally.
If Sporting was in Benfica's position, it's just relief to just to get out of there and we can just focus in on the league because realistically, what chances does a Portuguese team have?
Right.
Getting to the final
right now,
with this state of where the health of the players are.
Yeah, and there's such an economic disparity between those top leagues and everybody else. So for me, I would And if I was the Benfica, it would be more relief than anything else. Like we're done. Let's get down to business. Let's
100% focus.
Yeah. That's
it's a business
that would be my point of view.
Yeah.
And guys, don't forget about PSG. That PSG got a Portuguese army.
Yeah.
A Portuguese army. Right?
Watching the penalties,
The one that won is Vitinha and John Neves, Gonzalo Ramos, Nuno. I mean, it's just a strong lineup for PSG. And watch out for PSG, huh? Watch out for PSG because they are serious, man. This is a serious competitor for the title in the Champions League. All right, so don't overlook them.
And they don't have to worry about their league games. They can rest their entire
squad. They're up by 16. I think they're up by 16
exactly. That makes them really dangerous.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, their coach has already won it all. So
yeah,
I know he's been there and done that.
He's been there before. He's done that. So and they
have. I'm gonna say this about Luis Enrique, right? Because everybody praises about the that Barcelona from 2009 with Guardiola and Messi and Xavi and Iniesta. But I think that the team that was 2014-15, right? 14-15 or 15-16? 14-15 or 15-16. I don't know exactly what year that was.
Yeah.
When Barcelona won the championship.
Neymar, Suarez, and Messi were just
the MSN. I think that
Messi,
is better than the 2009 one for me. I don't know about you guys. We're gonna
thought about it.
Don't go there, Nino. Don't go there. I won't. I promise. I just wanted to let it out. Just wanted to let it out. Talking about out. No deportistas are here tonight. And Mauricio Ruano is not here tonight, so we're not having we have the chance here to just trash Porto. They're not here. There's nobody here.
No one wants to.
They don't have a defending lawyer. They don't have one. So it was a tough game, man.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the second half.
Yeah, I saw the second half. I
watched.
I saw most of it. No, I saw all of it actually. Now that you mention it.
Yeah, it was. I mean, for me, it was like pretty jaw dropping. I was surprised. I was surprised.
Dave's
being objective,
Braga fan,
not speaking as a sporting issue right now. I was just really surprised by how comfortable Braga was defending in the second half. They never seemed like they were under threat. They looked more dangerous on the transition attack.
They did.
I was just surprised. I mean, with Porto being down, you expect this cavalcade of attacks, waves of attacks. That's the Porto that I'm accustomed to. But Braga looked completely comfortable defending. Like Porto didn't appear that they were ever going to penetrate that defense.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I'm a Portista, that game was a giant red flag. I mean,
Portistas are gone. They aren't winning. Most of them don't understand how to be a fan when you are in winning. Oh my god!
I have plenty of experience with that.
That's the.
Isn't that the project?
What project are you in now, brother? Huh? The Z project. That movie with Brad Pitt. Remember Sea World or something? You remember that movie with the Z or something? That's this guy right here. All right, guys. Sporting. We're going to talk about Sporting. First off here, it's a different story when Victor Gyökeres is 100%, huh?
When he's fully operational, he's a game changer. It's sort of, I mean, if we go back to the 2002 season when we won the title, we only won because of one reason. It sort of reminds me of that. That season where we had Jardel and that was that. There was no that was the one sole reason why we won the title that year. So when you have a game changing striker, it makes a huge difference. And with Victor, it appears that Victor is, pretty much close to 100%, if not 100%. With him firing on all cylinders, Sporting becomes that much more dangerous. So I mean that is going to be the key if we're to repeat. It's going to come down to Victor, how we get him involved, how effective he is in the third. That is going to be he needs to be firing on all cylinders. We need him to get involved, score goals. It's the only way we can repeat. This past weekend again was another encouraging sign that he's back and ready for the home stretch.
Yes, sir. Now, Mr. Benfica, El Sticky Amdouni, from the get-go, from the start, I gotta be honest, right? I was just like, all right, let's see how this guy performs when he starts games, not just coming off the bench. He delivered.
Yeah.
He delivered.
Sure. I mean,
Right.
it was a
How do you feel about that?
Well, I'm glad we don't have to rotate the squad like that anymore. That's the first thing. Because that was 3 games in a row of going in with that second, half of a second string. But no, he stepped up when it was his time and he delivered, like you said. I don't think he's Elijah's favorite player because I think he would use him more if he was. But he put him in there. This was the squad we had to manage, and it was a very professional performance all across the board. They just knew they had to get the 3 points, put it away early, which was good. Benfica has not been good at that in the past of getting that lead early, protecting it, and just seeing out the result. This time they got it done. And then of course 2 penalties helped, but and a big save from Samu on Nacional's penalty also helped, because it could have been a whole different game if that goes to 2-1. But they showed up. They found the back of the net, and Amdouni was good. He did what he needed to do. This is why you bring players in on loan, to fill in gaps when you need somebody at a time like this, and he did his job. And on to the next one now, on to Rio Ave.
Rio Ave, right? That's the next one, man. It's just gotta go. You gotta plan every single game now, very carefully, very cautious. Because there's like we said last week, there's no room for error right now.
No, for either team.
No.
For either, because let's be honest, are you saying here that never count Porto out?
I think we should do that now.
No, for me. It's not just the 9 points. It's just watching them week after week. It's there's something that's not clicking.
Yeah,
it's not working. I don't know. What I mean. All phases of the game, in my opinion.
Right.
From watching them, week after week, there's just something's not clicking. I think that the season needs to finish for them, and then give Anselmi the
preseason.
In preseason, players that he wants, and then we can see what he's about. But right now, it's something's not clicking.
They got to sell Diogo Costa to get that money to bring in the players that they need. That's really their only path right now. He's the one with the value, and And
how much
listen, he's not. Yeah. What was that?
How much wanted for Costa?
I don't know, but his value is dropping every game. So I mean. He's not what he was a season and a half ago. So they've got to cash in soon if they're going to cash in on him. And if they want to bring in reinforcements, new players, that somebody's got to go. And that's where the majority of the value is on him, unless they want to sell a kid and throw away the next couple seasons. I mean, they're not in a good spot personnel wise. So someone's got to make hard decisions over there.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Gomez, the question of this round 25, it was crazy, right? Like, well, Mike, were you watching that game, Sporting game?
I until 3-1, then I changed it.
right. No, man. Do you hear me when I was asking the crowd? I was asking the crowd, right? Hey guys, why do you hate so much this guy? Right, I was just dropping that question out there.
He answered that question.
I love this guy.
He answered the question right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, not even 2 minutes. Like he commits an own goal. My God.
Yeah.
He almost did it again. I was rooting for him.
Yeah, he almost did it again. He almost had a brace. Yeah.
He almost did it. He almost scored a brace. An own
He
goal
almost scored a
brace.
brace.
It's unheard of.
Really close.
You know. So jokes
Yeah.
aside, the question here is, if you have the boss, who's a center back, he's a center back, right?
Yeah.
You sign him as a center back. Why you're not using him as a center back instead of putting this guy in the center back position? That's the big question of the weekend.
I think for now, as Morita is trying to get back to form, and able to give us at least like 60 minutes. You have to maintain the Bast in that middle of the pitch position, because Bergança is out for the season, and João Simões is also out for the season. He's out for the season. Yeah, he's out for the season. Yeah, there was a fracture. You have limited options in the middle of the pitch. You got Yulman, and Yulman's he still has to knock off a little bit of the rust. I don't think he was like the classic more in this last game. But because of our limitations there, you have to keep the Boston there for the time being until Morita is back in physical form. Which with the FIFA pause coming up, that'll give him more of a chance to to build up. Hopefully, if he doesn't re-aggravate his injury like he's been doing basically all season long. But once you get him to be more operation, get more minutes out of him, then I do think you will see DeBoss drop. Because Quaresma and Sanjust are again another two examples of guys that have been injured more than they've actually been active. I do think once Morita gets up to speed, you'll see DeBost drop, and you'll see Esgaio drop off the bench, basically.
Eventually, right? Eventually.
Yeah. I'm sure Mike may have an Esgaio on his team. I think Porto has Zanussi every time he goes out there.
Sure.
There's bewilderment, in the air. He's our Esgaio. It's just
he's your Antonio Silva, just a little bit older.
Basically.
Yeah. So that's it's a fallout, right? The fallout of Antonio Silva.
Because
the thing with Antonio Silva is that, like, he performed so well, right? Yeah. And then something happened, and he just lost the touch, and he's not getting it back.
Yeah.
Yet.
And he went from being an everyday player to a sometimes player to back to an everyday player, and every mistake is under the microscope. Listen, this is why top teams around the world, very few have a 20-year-old central defender. This is the reality of having young central defenders. Yeah. They make mistakes, and most of them, get loaned out to smaller teams for this reason. Yeah. But and he started so well, right? So the expectations probably rose higher than they should have for him. And this is probably closer to what the real Antonio Silva is. Now, long term, I think he's going to be fine. He seems to handle it well because he keeps coming back and keeps playing. And he takes a lot of abuse, but he just keeps playing. I thought he was fine today. I didn't think he was a liability out there today. No. But you got a guy like Otamendi playing the way he's playing right now, but this is why teams have 36-year-old center backs, because up here they make up for whatever their body can't do anymore, and they're reading the game and they're anticipating.
Center back,
Antonio Silva doesn't have that experience yet. He's going on instinct, and instinct can be wrong. And he's still trying to, and it's not just him, but he's the one that's often getting burned, is still trying to overdo the pretty play out of the back. Sometimes, and Otamendi does this better than anyone else in the team, is sometimes that ball needs to be knocked 60 yards in the air out of bounds, and then you regroup instead of always trying to play that pass, trying to feed that ball in between in between the presses, they're coming in and they're trying to. Yeah, he's right. Pep did it until he was 41, until he thought he couldn't anymore. And it's these pattern plays that they train in, and that they move the ball, and then they get in the game and don't realize that the situation doesn't allow for what they want to do right now. And they're so used to being able to pass out of the back, because you play center back at an academy like Benfica or Sporting or Porto. You're not seeing pressure. You are at will to play out of the back and to find your passes. And 3-4 years into your professional career, 75% of your opponents don't cause you trouble playing out of the back. When you get that team that does, and the pressure's on, it's easy to make a mistake. When the lights are brightest, the youngest kids are the ones that tend to make the mistake, especially in the back, not so much in the front. In the front, like Yamin Lamal we saw, is free to play. He can make all the mistakes in the world he wants because of where in the pitch he plays. Nobody remembers that. They remember the brilliant things he does. When you're a center back like Antonio Silva, nobody remembers the 95% of the plays that you do right. They remember the one you messed up that led to a goal. So keepers and center backs especially, there's so little room for error, and young players make these mistakes. And I think this is just part of the natural progression. Yes, it's costing the team, it cost them today. It made today's Champions League match so much harder, because if it was 0-0, it still would have been hard. But at 1-1, it's a completely different mentality going forward tonight. If the first game had been 0-0, if not for that mistake. But I think he's going to be fine in the long run. I mean, we've dropped some points because of it, but I think in the end he's going to be fine.
He's 20, right? 20.
He's 20 or 21 at this point. Let me see. He's young.
I know we talked about it last week, how Fresneda was under the spotlight because he was following up Pedro Porro.
21.
Right.
How Fresneda was following up Pedro Porro. He wasn't living up to Pedro Porro. I think there's sort of a parallel here where Antonio Silva was sort of following up Ruben Dias.
Yeah.
So that just those guys cast a giant shadow.
Exactly, and Ruben Dias was a monster at 23. At 23, was just a complete center back. That's why he went to Man City.
He made his mistakes too. We forget that. He made his mistakes too. In that year where it all fell apart for Bruno Lage, in the empty stadiums, he made a bunch of mistakes that allowed, that got Benfica out of that race. Remember, that was the year Benfica lost an 8-point lead, and Ruben Dias had a hand in that. We forget that now because he went to City and he's been great ever since. But he made his mistakes too when he was in these shoes as a young central defender.
Yeah, he did.
All right, Mr. Gomez. So I'm gonna get back to the defense of Benfica in a second, because I wanna go to the other side where we seen for the first time Álvaro Carreras. We're gonna talk about that in a second. But Derek, so again, I know you won the game. I know Victor was fantastic, but it's another week. So what? This is the question here, right? When is this gonna end? This second half of slowing down the train for Sporting.
There's a drop off.
What is that? It's got stopped at one point. It hasn't been the case. I mean,
there's a drop off.
You got the lead. You got Jokic. Getting the job done. But it wasn't that dominant the second half again.
No, I think that those first 20 minutes in particular, you did detect a significant drop off. Sporting were dropping their lines. You saw Casapia did have a good chance to tie the game when it was 2-1, and you did see Casapia. You did see Casapia, get into their final third more frequently. But in contrast to the other second halves that we've witnessed lately, I think that this was different. I think that, like I said, those first 20 minutes were not very good. But then now, with these guys coming back from injury, Sporting actually had options on the bench. With Maxi Araujo came in, Morita came in, and Jenny came in. And then, once he did make those substitutions and those guys were introduced into the pitch, you did see Sporting begin to push back. That's something that we haven't seen in these latest, second halves. Aroca, for example. You did see Sporting push back. You saw Sporting begin to reverse the tide, get into Casapia's territory, to the point where we got in the box and Trincão drew a penalty, which led to the third goal. So like I said, that's why I feel better than I did, just a couple weeks ago, because now it's when the other team, if they're Sporting's done a pretty good job at getting the lead. So when in the position of the lead, you have the team going after the result, starting to push you back. You do need to look onto the bench. You do need fresh legs to go out there and try to counteract that. And I do think over this last month, with the injuries that we had, our bench was extremely limited. We had Eduardo Felicimo coming off the bench. We had Alexandre Brit coming off the bench. So you had guys with absolutely no experience, very young, weren't even starters on the B team, going in there to try to help Sporting, try to contribute and try to counteract and try to push the opponent back. So we had difficulty. We just lacked the options on the bench. Now that we're becoming more of a full team, more of a complete team, you are seeing now valid options on the bench that can go in there, that can contribute, that can turn the tide of the game. So though I agree there was a drop off in the second half, we finally saw that response, that that counteraction that we hadn't seen in those last few games. So I found it to be encouraging. When again, it's all relative. It's relative to what's been going on this last month, but with these guys coming back, I feel more and more encouraged that you'll see less of these second half drop offs going forward.
Yeah, I think it's going to decrease. It's going to decrease in the next few rounds. Mikey, I was going to ask you about the Alvaro Carreras stuff. First off, everybody say hello to my mama. Hi, mama.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
My mama. So Alvarito Carreras, as a left center back for this game, huh?
He's tucked in there. He's tucked in there as a in possession much of the season, because that before it was what was his name, the German guy that was playing, I've already forgotten his name, Best, who was playing in front of him, because it allowed Alvaro to tuck in. And Benfica likes to come out playing with three in the back. They don't line up that way, but in possession they like to come out with three. And he's been the one tucking in at left center back for a while. And he gets, instead of getting wide, he gets into that left center channel, but he still gets forward. So it doesn't surprise me, given the way that the team's been playing. It doesn't surprise me that he went for that. He wasn't going to play today,
right? Mm-hmm. Feel natural, the position for Carreras in the inner channel.
Yeah, he can play either in the inner or on the wide channel. He can do both jobs. So he plays really well, and he's had a good connection with Bruma since Bruma's come in, and they interchange with each other pretty well as far as which one goes wide or which one plays in the more inner channel. So it doesn't surprise me, but it allows for more flexibility, and it allows for a little bit less predictability, which is good for Benfica going forward.
Absolutely. Now, Supergino says that when St. Just, Quaresma, and Poacher back, Human and Morita more at 100%, and the yellow cards are reset, there will be a rejuvenation of that early season Sporting, and they're liking that 3-4-3. Mr. Gomez, what do you feel about that?
I like that they've reverted back to the 3-4-3. It's just something that we're more comfortable with. We've been doing it. Yeah. This isn't something that we started this season. We've been playing 3-4-3 since day one of Ruben Amorim, which was 4.5 years.
4 years playing at 3-4-3.
Yeah. And the players that we brought in were brought in to fit that system. Mm-hmm. So I'm really happy that we're back at the 3-4-3. As far as looking as good as we did early in the season, I'm not too sure about that. I think those days are behind us. But we're winning different ways. And right now with 9 rounds to go, it being neck and neck, it just go out there and find ways to win. But one step to get there is revert. I'm really happy that we reverted back to the 3-4-3. I think that'll be critical if we do go ahead and repeat.
That's something that I cannot say about my Peruvian national team, brother, because we're gonna say backwards here because this is a team that I'm gonna drop this in here because we got a new coach. We're dead last in the Commonwealth qualifiers, and I mentioned this because of the system. The coach that the Peruvian Soccer Federation hired, he actually took it from us, from Universitario. We won the championship a couple of years ago, and then at the end of the year, he was about to get the renovation of his contract, and they, hey, we need you because they were in panic, right? Let's get the guy that just won the championship. All right, but I only played 3-5-2. That's my system. We didn't win a single game. Game.
Yeah.
So now they got a new guy. He's gonna play with 4 in the back, and we are. I don't know, man. We play Bolivia and Venezuela on this international break, and I just have no expectations. But I just want to let you know that, guys, because the 3-4-3, man. Super Gina says that 3-4-3. It's in really from information, but I think all the team needed was a confident coach behind them and show that they are still the same team.
Yeah.
Mr. Gomez. Did I say that? I said that before.
Yeah. I mean, would Rui Borges be my number one choice to replace Ruben Amorim? No, he wasn't at the time. And I think the verdict's still out on him. But what he did was he did sort of have this. He does have an authority, sort of an authoritative manner about him, and that's what João Pereira was desperately missing. I don't think they ever really looked at João Pereira as an authority figure. As someone to, when the going gets tough, we're looking to him for guidance. We're looking to him for leadership. I don't think, I just don't think that that's in João Pereira's DNA. But, Rui Borges is an authoritative figure. He goes in there, he commands respect. And I do think that, the players, do look at him as a leader. So that's why you've seen the difference in results, from the João Pereira era and the Rui Borges era. Sporting's a lot more competitive now, and I don't think it has anything to do with the system that he tried to implement. I just feel that he's a leader. He just has that leadership quality. It's sort of innate. It's something that you're born with. And he has that. The players now feel that sort of like that security blanket, that authoritative figure behind him. And you've seen Sporting become a lot more competitive with him, over João Pereira. But yeah, and that it's irrespective of the system because the 3-4-3 wasn't his original system. It's just that they look at him, they see a leader, and he does have the soldier haircut. Yeah.
Then look at him and look at the freaking I don't know, David Goggins or something, right? Mikey, talking about the coaches, right? It's the they were not in January anymore, where everybody wanted to crucify Bruno Lage. But depending, I mean, there's 10 games to go. And I know you're not a big fan of changing coaches because you believe that that's not the main issue. But if Benfica doesn't win, will he stay? You think?
Who are they going to replace him with? There's a reason they signed him. There's a reason he was not the first, second, or third choice when they went to him. So I think he will stay, yes. At least through the elections in October. But I think it's going to be hard to replace him because I think Benfica wanted somebody else, and everyone whose door they knocked on said no, thank you. I truly believe that's what happened when they, and that's why Roger stayed as long as he did also, is because I don't think it's that easy to bring a coach into this league right now. The money's not there, and if it is, there's no money for play. Like it's one or the other. Any money you spend on a coach is money you can't spend on players. And and he's right. I read that article too, that he was supposedly on Sporting's short list as well. But this is what we've got. This is the reality in Portuguese football right now. These are the players we have to choose from. These are the coaches we have to choose from, and we can't get caught up in thinking we're going to bring the Guardiolas of the world to Portugal, and we're going to go get, we're going to keep finding these unknown players somewhere in the world that are going to overnight turn into superstars, and we're going to build teams like Barcelona or like Real Madrid. The way we used to be we used to build much stronger teams when we could have that third party ownership of players, and we could invest less and get more. But it's a different game today, and I don't think Benfica could successfully. They'll have a very hard time replacing Bruno Lage, especially on what he's working for. He also takes a much lower wage than pretty much anyone else, because he is from this club. This is his club, and every time you call him, he's going to say sure. But no, I think he comes back at least until October, because that's when the election is, and Rui Costa can't drive up the debt anymore before he goes out.
I like him, Super Gino.
You like what?
I like Israel's coach. I do.
Yeah.
Ian Cathro, I do like him.
Yeah. But Benfica's fan base is very, very hostile to anybody that they don't deem to be at the level of Benfica, which I don't think Benfica can get any coach that the fans believe is at their level. So it's a hard job, and I think any manager that's done his homework is going to think twice about coming to Benfica right now, because the situation is what it is.
If you all right, let's see this. Who do you think? Do you have any coach in mind that you like, Mikey, that you could bring to Benfica? I want to put you on a Rui Costa seat for 5 minutes to decide. Give me your guy.
Jurgen Klopp. That's who they think. This is who Benfica fans think they're going to get, is someone on that level. The Ruben Amorim actually is every Benfica. Pardon my language, is every Benfica fan's wet dream right now. They see every bad result at Man United, and there's people saying that they're seeing it, and they can't. Benfica can't afford Ruben Amorim. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And
especially now.
Ruben said he isn't coming back to Portugal.
No, and he's not, and neither is Paulo Fonseca's suspended now, so he's off the. But
Lito.
Marco Silva's not coming back to Portugal. Okay, the coaches that get out, they're not coming back.
Yeah. Like Leonardo Jardim,
life-changing money.
Yeah.
And what about Abel Ferreira, that we were talking about him for?
We can't afford him. He's turned down both of our clubs at this point.
Yeah.
Jeez. Man.
He's a
conversation for Sporting, right?
I still think the verdict's out on him. I mean, we saw Abel Ferreira firsthand. I mean, he coached Braga. Can you look back on his tenure and feel that Braga was playing at like a super high level, that they were actually on par with the with the Benfica, Portos, and Sporting. Can you say that when you sort of do like a post-mortem on his tenure at Braga? And I mean, I don't remember it being super impressive. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he's good in Brazil. He's good in Brazil. One of the richest two teams in Brazil. That's the other thing.
I never thought Braga looked amazing under Artur Jorge. He goes to Brazil and he becomes a champion. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Abel Ferreira is the guy just because he's had success in Brazil. I don't know.
Man, we got crazy comments today, brother. Man, Jesus. Man.
That last comment was 100% right. Not again. No way. Not again.
All right, hold on a second. No.
Exactly. Brazil is not Portugal. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because Brazil now
it's a totally different. It's a totally different tactical approach. In
Portuguese league is peripheral. The league needs to share more TV revenues to grow.
But in order to share, it needs to generate, and the league does not generate much TV revenue.
No.
It's fact. Just the big
All right,
three,
let me make
and that's not going to do it.
Phone call here
Yeah.
to my boss. Hey, Mr. Bastedo, we need money from Golf TV, bro.
Yeah.
That's my boss. You know, talking about my boss, he dropped the hammer on me today, man, on the broadcast. He told me, Nino, I'm sorry. I know you love your TikToks, but
no more.
No more. No more TikToks. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna be on stream. So yeah, it's what it is, you know. So I just gonna be on my own again, because I used to, you know, I talk to the people, because you know I'm on my own, and then I talk to the guys.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. It is what it is. It just, this is the rules of the game. And I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it because I got a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Supragino, what do you say, brother? If Borges doesn't get Sporting to double champion after they sell Gyökeres, they will spend money on Abel, as his contract will be over. Oh, what do you think, Gomez, about that?
You know, like I said, I'm not totally sold on him. I know. You know,
and how much are you willing to spend?
People are willing, are now making him out to be, you know, this world beater of a coach. But I'm not sold on the guy, because we saw him up close. You know, he coached Braga. You know, so I mean, Braga. I mean, they don't invest as much as Benfica, Porto, or Sporting, but they do make an investment. They do have a good team. They've been building a good team for quite some time now. So he did have good players at his disposal. And I just never thought that Abel Ferreira's Braga ever really put up a real threat, you know, to get in there and become a champion. I just never felt that way. Under Abel Ferreira's Braga. So I'm not completely sold that this is the guy. I know he's making a considerable salary over in Brazil, so he's not going to take much of a pay cut.
No.
So it's like, do you want to invest a lot of money in a guy who did coach in the Portuguese league and really didn't impress that much? So you have to ask yourself that question. I mean, personally, I'm not sold on the guy. I know some people think that he's the next big thing, but I'm not on that train, man. That's just how I feel about it.
All right. Fair enough, Mr. Gomez. Mikey, back to the national game for a little bit here. You won 3-0, could have been more. You almost got 20 shots in that game. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man. I mean, it was a very optimistic display of offensive side from Benfica in that game, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there hasn't been a problem creating the chances lately. Benfica's been creating numerous chances in every game. It's the finishing that's the problem. Even when you're getting 3 goals, out of 20 chances, that's not a great percentage. And we saw, in the Champions League, they created chances and they got 1 goal in 2 games against Barcelona. Not a team that's, as good as they are. They're not great defensively. And you have to make more with those chances. But we saw today was such a great example.
Scoring.
Yeah. Well, and the problem is sitting Pavlidis so much, I think, has hurt his form because he's lost that scoring rhythm a little bit, in my opinion. Now, luckily, he's getting a penalty to keep putting the ball in the back of the net, but we saw today a couple of times Benfica set up a great opportunity, but they get in the box, and instead of hitting that ball first time, they want to set up the perfect shot in that little half second of extra time. They give the defense to close it down, and Ronald Araujo is got his leg out there, and it's blocked. Or the goalkeeper's got time to set his feet, and it's a save. It's got to come off quicker. And Benfica take that extra touch. You can get away with that against Nacional, but you can't get away with that against stronger teams. Even in the cup last week, that game with Braga should have been a lot more than 1-0. It should have been 3 or 4-0, and it was 1-0 because the finishing just isn't there. It doesn't matter if it's Pavlidis. It doesn't matter if it's Belotti. It doesn't matter if it's Bruma, if it's Artur Kuglu. When getting in front of goal, it's just taking it's requiring too many opportunities in order to get the goals right now. And that's, like I said when I tweeted today, that's the difference between good teams and great teams. Great teams don't need 20 opportunities to win 3-0. They need 4 opportunities to win 3-0 or 5. So Benfica do need to clean up the finishing. And some of that is confidence. So hopefully now we see Pavlidis from the start, and hopefully he refines his scoring form, because Benfica are going to need him to carry a lot of the scoring responsibilities. And if he starts doing that, it opens up the space, and it opens up the opportunities for the Brumas and for the Arturkoglus to find their, and the Sheldrips to find their share of goals as well.
Mikey, with that Tucolo that you just mentioned him, that's another guy that is I'm not gonna say it's a fallout, but he is. I mean, he hasn't been able to catch finishing that level.
He stopped finishing. He was,
exactly.
It's like in basketball, having a hot shooter for 4 or 5 games and everything they shoot goes in, and then all of a sudden they come back to their normal percentage. I think that's what we're seeing with Arturkoglou. This is more of who he is, and what we saw in the beginning was an unknown player that was getting a lot of opportunities, that was getting time in the box and finishing well. And when he's not finishing, he's not all that effective playing between the lines. He's not all that effective in spaces. He really needs. Dave is right. If a player is efficient, he's gone. And I say that. I have this argument with people all the time.
Absolutely.
If we said this about Rafa for years, that he does everything right except the finishing. Well, if he did the finishing, he wouldn't have been in. He would have been at Barcelona or at Real Madrid or PSG. And it's the same. It's the same thing with Pavlidis, and the same thing with Bruma. Bruma's had a career. They're lacking that thing that's very rare, which is the ability to finish. Yeah, Dave's right.
It's was it Galeno too? They first mentioned Galeno. Yeah,
that's Galeno. That's fair. Yeah,
Galeno's great. Yeah, it was a great example of that.
All right, so there's 9 laps to go, 10 for Mikey. Mm-hmm. But round 33. Round 33 is you versus you.
Mm-hmm.
And
got to get there first.
Do you think?
A lot of
all right. I'm gonna go with Gomez first, and let me give me your thoughts on this, Mike, Derek.
Yeah.
Do you think that you will define the title in that game or before?
I'm being honest, because I've been thinking about this. There's just something inside telling me, I have a hunch, I have a feeling that it will come down to that game. But I don't know what the result of that game is going to be. But I got this gut feeling that it's going to come down to that. But
you gotta go up until that game, and then is when you're gonna.
Yeah.
The final countdown is gonna start there.
Final. I mean, again, can Sporting lose points between now and then? Absolutely. Can Benfica lose points between now and then? Absolutely. But the way things have been shaping up, I got this gut feeling that it's going to come down to that game. It's going to be.
Mikey, what do you think?
The Super Bowl.
Absolutely. I like where Benfica is right now. I think we're in a perfect spot. Everybody's kind of already coronating Sporting as the champion. You did it, Nino. You said on their way to the title. Okay. And if not for a game in hand, we're level on points right now. Everyone's forgetting we're level. Benfica have been behind by 8 and by 6, and here we are. All the pressure is on Sporting. I wish that Benfica's communications department would communicate this, would put this narrative out there and get it printed, because we shouldn't be here right now. Okay, we shouldn't be here right now. And the pressure is on Sporting. They have led all season. Okay, we've been just behind. And it's gonna come down to that game and the final week, because Benfica have Braga and Sporting have Vitória on the final week. So it may not be won in that game. It may take to the final week, but the head-to-head will be decided in that game, and that probably, will will decide the title in the end, is who wins the head-to-head. So, which right now means Benfica need to win all of our matches and win by 2 goals in that game to win the head-to-head to go into the final day. Actually, I think if Benfica win all of the games and win that game by 2 goals, they'll be champions on that day, because then it'll be a 3-point lead going into the final day with the head-to-head lead. But so many places to trip up between now and then.
Benfica do have to go to Porto before that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know Porto is,
Oh, they're gonna be Real Madrid on that.
For that game,
that's a different game.
For one game, nobody's better.
They're gonna go to war
for one game.
They are gonna go to war. Yeah. They're gonna they'll go all out.
Mike, you were saying about the head-to-head. So let's see that the tying points. It defines the title. Who won the game between each other? Is that what it is?
That's the first tiebreaker.
That's the tiebreaker.
If Benfica win 1-0, then we're tied on head-to-head, and then you go to the goal difference. Because the first game was 1-0 Sporting, if I remember correctly.
1-0 Sporting. Okay, so if you win 1-0, it's gonna be level.
Yeah, and if Benfica win by 2, Benfica win the head-to-head. If Sporting do anything but lose by 2, they'll win the head-to-head. So,
And now, hold on a second. Who you played last game? Because I know Sporting plays Vitória, but I'm already going into the future, right? Because I like this.
Yeah,
this game.
the only good thing is
what's the last game for Benfica?
We have Vitória at home.
Benfica goes to Braga in the final game. It doesn't get any easier after Sporting.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why
Benfica goes to Braga.
At least we Vitória at home.
And Sporting plays Vitória.
We have Vitória at home, and I don't think Vitória travels as well as they do when they play home. So again, that's so far in the future.
It is. It really is. So many things can happen between now and then.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just going to that dramatic last 2 games.
We still got an international break.
It happened in 05, It did happen in 05 when it was the next to last round, and that game decided the title.
In the 83rd minute,
I think 84th minute.
84th minute, Luizão scored.
That decided the title. Yeah, so you're looking at an identical scenario.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And it was a similar season where everybody dropped a lot of points.
Yeah.
Man. All right. So
built up for that game. And of course, I also remember the 6-3 game.
I don't see neither Benfica or Sporting dropping points in the next 5 or 6 months.
We got Porto in 3 or 4. No, we got Porto in a couple of weeks and very soon.
Oh, what is it? On the 6th, right? It's on the
April
6th.
6th. We got 1, 2. We got 3 games until Porto. That's it.
Well, up until
you
that
have
game.
Gil Vicente Farense. Yeah. And we got a cup game midweek that week. So.
And when are you going to play is it decided yet? When are you going to play that game?
It looks like it's Friday, March 28th. Coming back from the international break.
You got that game that you got in hand?
Yeah, March 28th is what it says here. On a Friday.
March 28th, huh?
Yeah, and then probably the next Monday will be home to Farense. And then Thursday will probably be the cup semifinals. So, and then Porto on Sunday is probably how it's going to break down that week. So, coming back from the international break, it's going to be quite a task.
It's like a make a break kind of scenario.
Yeah, Dave's right.
Dave Perez, for the guys truly behind in a lot of aspects.
Absolutely,
you can make a trip around again because they don't schedule matches.
They don't. He's right.
They don't.
I can go watch any MLS game in October and buy my ticket now if I want to, and book my flight and book my hotel. In Portugal, 2-3 weeks is all you get notice. And
yeah, I know. It was same here.
They want everything to be done in a certain way, and they don't schedule anything out with any type of notice.
It's backwards. It is.
Yeah, very amateur.
Right? Yeah, people really overlook look over the shoulder at MLS, but they got a lot of things.
They do a lot of things right.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So and then they're gonna jump into this. I think is it this year or next year? They're gonna do the match up the European calendar.
Hopefully, they never do it. It's going to kill their business.
I know. It's too cold. I know.
It's too cold. It's 20 degrees outside. We can't play in these months.
No,
they can't do it. It's a talk, but.
But in Europe, they play in the winter. I know, but it's a different winter, brother. It's a different winter.
No, there's no winter like this in Europe unless you go to Scandinavia.
Yeah. My kid just had a weekend tournament in New Hampshire this last weekend.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm walking to the car. I'm an icicle. Yeah.
If they do it, it'll be for 1 or 2 years, and it'll hurt in the pocket.
And then we're losing money, but we're not.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Unless everybody builds a dome, and no.
Yeah, but that's
yeah.
That kind of money is.
Yeah,
it's not happening at all, guys. Right, Mikey. Let's go for the predictions, brother. How about that?
Go for it. All right. One moment. Let me bring it up. All righty. First game. This is just Benfica's. Hold on. League fixtures.
Look at Super Genius saying that.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Minnesota, Chicago, New England, New York.
Crazy. Yeah.
It makes no sense whatsoever. It's something people talk about, but all right. This is the Liga. Let's go to the fixtures. Why am I only getting once?
Victoria Betis, Victoria, of course, David. Come on.
Yes, good. I want to give a shout out to Victoria. I hope they do it tomorrow.
13 games undefeated,
bro.
I know he's a Braga fan, but I hope Vitória gets it done tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. All right. Saturday. I'm gonna say I'll predict it for him. 2-1 Vitória tomorrow. I'm hope or Thursday. I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
Hopeful.
I'm with Mike on that one. 2-1 Vitória.
All right. Saturday. Farense Braga first game.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Farense. You're done. You're gone. You're gone. I mean, what? 2-0 Braga.
3-1 Braga for me. 3-1. I'll give him 3-1.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Braga.
2-1 Braga. All right. What's next?
All right, Nino. Get ready for this, Nino. Gil Vicente Santa Clara.
Oh no! Right. My two favorite teams, brother. No. Jesus. But it's in Barcelos, so you know me. I'm gonna say 3-1 Gil Vicente. Get out of that freaking relegation zone that is biting your ass right now. Mr. Gomez.
I'm gonna go 1-1.
1-1.
1-1.
I'll say 2-2.
2-2. Jesus, man. All right. What's next?
Porto AVS at the Dragão.
Oh man, they have to win this one.
They've got to win.
They got to win this one.
3-1 Porto. 3-1 Porto. At Dragão, right?
Yeah, at Dragão.
I got that game, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I think I got that game. Gomez, what do you got?
I'm gonna go 2-0.
Yeah, me too. 2-0 for me as well.
Okay. What's next, Mikey?
Sporting Famalicão at Alvalade.
3-0 Sporting. 3-0. Mikey?
3-1 Sporting.
Gomez?
Yeah, I'm actually gonna say 3-1. The Sporting.
Okay, all right.
I think we're good.
All right.
All right. Sunday.
Yeah, I got
Aroca Estoril. I'm sure Rui thinks it's going to be 7-0 Aroca. So.
2-0 Aroca.
I'm gonna go 2-2 in that game.
All right.
I'll say 1-1.
What is this? I forgot which one was it. Super Union. This one. 14-1. He said.
All
right. Yeah. Okay, Mike, what do you got?
Oh, Nacional Casa Pia. Fog or no fog is the first one.
Oh, that's the question. Jesus, man. Hopefully, no.
It's at 3:30 in the afternoon, so there's plenty of time to.
You'll be fine.
There's
We'll be
plenty of time.
fine, man.
Madeira
Don't burn
time,
my
3:30. There's plenty of time to get it in.
Yeah.
1-1. I say 1-1 on that one. 1-1. Gomez.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with you on this one. I think it's going to go 1-1.
I'll go 2-1
Okay, all
Casa
right.
Pia. They bounce back after their loss.
Nice.
All right. Then it's
What you got?
Rio
Okay.
Ave Benfica.
3-1 Benfica.
Oof, you're confident.
3-1.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
I'm
2-1.
grateful for my jellies.
I'll go 2-1 Benfica.
I'm gonna go 2-1 also. Benfica.
All right.
Moreirense
next,
Boa
Mike?
Vista.
Gosh.
Crap. Come on, Boa Vista. Come on.
They were winning. They were up
1-0.
1-0 at
Go,
halftime. Damn it.
It was close, man. It was close. So
know.
mad, man. They were winning 1-0. And
I
then
know,
they
at halftime too. Yeah, it was so disappointing.
Come on, they can pull this one off. Come on, Boa Vista. I'm rooting for you guys. 1-0 Boa Vista. What do you say, Derek?
I'm gonna go 1-1. I think they get a point.
I'll go 2-1
All right,
Moreirense. 2-1 Moreirense.
Why are you so mad? Why are you so mean with Boa Vista?
They don't belong
All
in
right.
the first division. I want them gone.
I know what's up with me because when freaking Marítimo was in trouble,
Yeah.
I was just wanting them to win.
I would
those
trade.
last games.
I would trade Boa Vista for Marítimo any day in this league. I'd
Oh,
make that
really?
trade right now. But Vitória Guimarães Estrela is the night game on Sunday.
Yeah, home Vitória, right? Vitória.
In Guimarães, yep.
2-0 Vitória. 2-0 Vitória.
Yeah.
Thomas?
I'll go 2-1 Vitória.
Yeah. Short rest for Vitória, so I'm going to say 2-1 also.
Yeah,
They play
yeah,
Thursday and then Sunday. And then it's an international break, so they can't move it, so it's got to be Sunday.
Man, I hate international breaks, man.
Me too.
Oh, I can't stand them. Yeah, I can't.
They're the worst.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
It's unreal, man. Anyway, that was the last game, Mikey?
That was the last game until the 28th of March. So,
All right, until the 28th, guys. So we're going to have a week off, not the next Tuesday, but the following
the
Tuesday.
one after.
So
Yeah.
we'll have
Yeah.
All right.
Next week,
Thank you,
do
Mikey.
South
Thank you,
American
Derek.
predictions.
For
Yeah.
that's South American predictions. We're going to talk next Tuesday.
That's our
You know
tradition. That's
You
our
know that.
tradition. Come on.
that. Sir.
Yeah, we
Come
will,
on,
we
Peru.
will.
Come on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All
All right, guys.
All right,
Thank you.
boys.
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
Appreciate it. We'll see you next
All
Tuesday.
right. See you guys.
Bye.